Hey everybody, Zee Garcia here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a game in which you collect beautiful poker chips and then use those to buy the things you want, the resources you need in in Ankh'Or. Normally in this little bit of my review, I give you a little bit more detail as to what the theme in the game is, a little bit more about perhaps the mechanisms, before I send you down to the table to take a look at the gameplay. However, I feel like you already know everything about this game. Collect poker chips, like I said, spend them. And the theme is here. Amass resources and build your trade empire in ancient Egypt. That's it. That's on the back of the box, and there is no blurb in the rulebook. So that's the entire theme. There you go. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this works. In the game, each player on their turn is going to do one of two different actions. You can take tokens, which are these tokens up here you'll be using to buy tiles, or you can, well, buy tiles. And so, let's say in this case we're looking at a game setup for 3 players here. The only difference really is the number of these tokens available. So let's say the start player here is going to grab some tokens. You can take any kinds you want, but you do have a hard limit of 5 of these tokens, and then 2 of these special ones over here, which are slightly offset from the other ones, because these Ankhs have a special ability that is not simply monetary. These tokens that are on the price track are randomized and set into place, so that the costs for the different locations of the tiles is random every game. Once it's set, but it will be shuffled up the next time you play. So on my turn, perhaps I'll take a white one, a blue one here, and maybe one of these red tokens. I put those in front of me. I'm not above my limit, so I'm done. And it'll be the next player's turn. The next player might take 2 of the black tokens and one of these, let's say. They'll take that. Comes back to the next player. They might grab a couple of different ones here. Maybe that and that and that. They take those. Then it comes back to me and I'll take the other action. The other action is, like I said, spending tokens. So I might spend a blue one and a white one and take the corresponding tile here. Once you take a tile in this game, you put it in front of you. So this will be my area here. Put that in front of you. This does not replenish automatically. And then your turn is over. You can, on your turn, spend one of these Ankh tokens either before or after your main action to do one of 2 things. You can replenish the board. So let's say, this player over here has already purchased that with those. This player over here spent them all and purchased that one there. And now, let's say that I happen to have one of these and I want to spend it, I will replenish this board. The first thing we do is we eliminate whichever one is cheapest, wherever it might be. So that one's out. The rest of them are going to move up, and then you pick one of these 2 stacks and you start replenishing the board. You do get a clue as to the color on the back of the tiles. So I might pick this stack here and replenish all the extra spots in the track with new tiles just like this. The other option you have on your turn by spending one of these Ankh tokens is to move a tile around in your own display. When you buy further tiles, you are always going to place them adjacent to the ones you've already got. So my next acquisition might go there next to that one. Maybe the one I buy after that I'll put over here, and so on. You can even, let's say I've purchased all of that. Once you have a base of at least 4, if you buy another tile that shares a color with one of the ones below it, you can put it above that support structure there. So this one being red, that one down there being red, I could build that. And you even get a discount on that one if it's going to go into a second level of any one token. So if I purchased it from here, I could pay, say, just the green and the red and skip paying the white token. So what are we attempting to do here with collecting all of these different tiles? Well, you're trying to score the highest score possible, of course. Game's going to be over when someone takes 13 of these. We finish out the round, so we all have the same number of turns, and then we score. Throughout the game, if you ever get a group together of 5 tokens of the same color, or 5 tokens showing the same animal, same statue there, you are going to get one of these bonus little pyramids, which are worth 3 victory points. But besides that, at the end of the game, you are going to score a few different things. You'll score the numbers shown on any of the ones that have numbers, so 2 victory points there. You are going to score groups of 2 or more adjacent animal tiles that have the same type, each one being worth 1. So today I've got that. That's 1 victory point and another one there. This one up here with the dog is the only dog touching that one is itself, so that one doesn't score me a victory point. You're also going to score each colored tile belonging to a group, same exact way you score the animal statues. And then lastly, for every 3 leftover tokens, you are going to get 1 victory point. Now, a couple of the other special tiles here. These are simply 2 victory points, like I said. The animals, well, you'll score groups of them. The colors, you'll score groups of them. These that show a desert are nothing, though they still retain a color, this one being black. The different characters, or if it's showing a person, that means as soon as you acquire this one and place it, you will take another turn immediately. And then these here allow you to hold a token of the matching type. So as soon as I buy this, I'll take a matching token from the supply, if one is available. I'll put it on there, and then I could spend that on top of the ones I've got. And it also extends my possibility for keeping tiles. I can now hold one more, as long as it's the matching color. You will lose this power if you ever build above this location. So whether it's empty or not, if I build there, I will lose the ability to store one there anymore. So there you go. That's basically it. You are collecting tokens, spending the matching tokens to buy your tiles, place them out, get victory points, make groups of animals or colors, and try to have the highest score possible, building up, of course, for discounts and so forth. So there you go. That's the game. Let's go ahead and go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of it. All right, so that is Ankh'Or, I think. Here is what I think of this one. I'm going to start with, who cares? I'm going to do it from the top. Thematic ties here, come on. Like I said, no blurb in the rule book. They don't try. I'm not going to try, so thumbs down there. Aesthetics, beautiful production, beautiful poker chips, very nice components. The whole thing is well illustrated. I like this quite a bit. The poker chips especially are a highlight, again, like in Splendor, which this is a lot like. Replayability. There's a little variability here, but largely you're playing the same game each time. It doesn't feel like you're going to be doing anything radically different from play to play. The game length here, it's fine. It's definitely better with fewer players. I would stick with 2, maybe 3. There's no good reason to play with more than that. Ease of play here, simple, it's clean. There's a couple of rules, that's it. So yes, you can play this with just about anybody. And then lastly, tactics and strategy and luck. It's much better with fewer players. It's way less chaotic with fewer. Because of the way the tiles refill, before it's your turn again, whatever plan you had laid out for yourself, I need blue and green and red for that. You collect that, and by the time it comes back around to you, not only might have been purchased, which is fine, most games do that, it also might have moved from where it was. You might no longer have the resources you need. And at that point, by the way, I recommend you just buy whatever's in that spot anyway. So there it is. This is, like I've been hinting at, not very subtly, I know. This is a lot like Splendor. I mean, really shockingly so. The poker chips are they're almost the exact same thing as Splendor. They have the same quality, the same finish. Except for the fact that they are smaller. And this game is in a smaller box than Splendor, I'll give it that. They are the same quality, they have the same sheen, they feel the same. These are miniature Splendor chips. The theme is in there, so that's about the same. Splendor didn't really have a theme. You are collecting stuff that might give you a couple of little abilities. You are, instead of just laying it out in front of you now, putting it in a grid. It feels like Splendor. It feels absolutely like that game, but late to the party. And while I did not dislike playing it, right? I don't want to come across like, it's also not impressive, right? I mean, there is just Nothing here that I haven't seen before. A lot of it in the same package. That's the problem, right? I mean, the turn structure is almost identical to Splendor. But it's its own game in a vacuum, right? I mean, if you want that, it's okay. If that's what you want, if I keep going on about that other game and you're like, I've never played that game, I don't care about that, tell me about this, it's all right. You might enjoy it. Here's my bottom line. A pleasant and attractive game that brings absolutely nothing new to the table and feels derivative. So this is going to get a 6 out of 10 from me. I would recommend it if you were wowed by the overview, if you think this is going to be something that perhaps you or friends and family are going to get a lot of mileage out of it. If it's a game that was speaking to you from that overview, then sure, yeah. Don't expect the theme. You pretty much know everything there is to see in the game from that overview. You got it, okay? There's no mysteries that I left out. And if all that works for you, then yes, check this out. I think you're going to like it. Otherwise, if you've got those other games I mentioned, if this did look derivative, then you don't need it. There's nothing here that you can say, oh yeah, it's like that game, but with this thing. That's not here. So there you go. Ankh'Or from moi. Thanks for checking this out, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.